Hello and welcome to AutoStop once again. I am so excited to be here with you guys. Actually, we are always excited to be with you guys, and so today we are here to present a special episode to you, which is the best used Lexus vehicle to buy in 2021. So if you are here looking for the best used Lexus vehicle to buy, you're in the right place. Do not click away. We have all the information you need to make an informed decision. We're going to use the vehicle behind us to do that, and that's a vehicle we got for a family, and that is what's going to help us and aid us in that decision making. We are going to enlist about 4 to 5 reasons whether or not to go after the Lexus NXT here. And so stick with us and we'll put the icing on the cake at the end of the vehicle, which will actually enlighten us about the driving experience of the NX200 after 4 years of use and whether it's a good decision to or not to. So without wasting much time, let me just jump into the introductory of the vehicle. And what we are looking at is the 2017 Lexus Nx200t, which is a very beautiful SUV. It was introduced 2 years before 2017 at the Beijing International Automotive Exhibition in 2014, and then it has been around. The NX200t represents a different type of Lexus crossover. As you can see, it's sharply styled. It possesses a sportier driving experience than the Lexus norm. What didn't change about it is that the Lexus trademark of an ultra smooth engine, quiet cabin, superior quality, and a reputation for excellent reliability hasn't changed, and that is unchanged and unhinged and untouched about Lexus vehicles. Okay, so for once we can all agree on that. But let me start with my first reason of going after this for the family, and I'll start with the exterior, touching on the standard equipment that come on this vehicle and then exterior design. Now, the standard equipment on this vehicle includes a 17-inch wheel. This is actually a 5-passenger compact sedan. A 17-inch wheel, automatic LED headlights, as you saw when we were just doing a walk around, the LED fog light, and then the running headlights, the heated mirrors, the keyless ignition and entry, a rear view camera, automatic dual zone climate control, 8-speed, 8-way power adjustable front seats with 2-way driver lumbar adjustments. You've got the simulated leather upholstery that looks on the glossy, a 60/40 split folding and reclining back seat, Bluetooth connectivity, and a standard 7-inch Lexus display audio knob and screen interface. That's what we are looking at right now. Yes, it's got a Scout GPS link, navigation, smartphone app, connectivity, 1 USB port, which is not good. I think we should have had more than that, and then an 8-speaker sound system with a CD and a high definition and satellite radio, an auxiliary audio jack, and a multimedia player interface, which I think should suffice to provide a good amount of interfacing with multimedia stuffs in place of the absence of Android Auto and CarPlay, which is one of the setbacks that we put down. Again, one of the setbacks is the cargo area, which is not standard in terms of the competition. So these are 2 of the setbacks that I have mentioned, but it comes standard with all these things. The reason why I think this vehicle, exterior and equipment wise, is good is that it's a 4-year-old vehicle, but it gives you room to add on and on to bring it up to 2021 technology and 2021 standard, whichever way you want it. That is, if you are the type that wants to add on. And so there's room for the comfort package, which includes power adjustable steering wheel, a driver's seat memory function. You can also opt for the premium package, which brings you an 18-inch wheel, a sunroof, heated and ventilated front seats. You can also go for the upgraded exterior running lights and blind spot monitoring system. On top of the comfort and the premium package, you can add on what we call the luxury package, which adds popular items such as leather upholstery, a heated steering wheel, automatic wipers, a power tailgate, lift gate. It must be had with those ones also. That doesn't end there. You still have the room to add on, and some of the things that you can add on includes front and rear parking sensors, a lane departure warning system, adaptive cruise control, bundled with forward collision mitigation, upgraded LED headlights, wireless smartphone charging. Some of the extras in the above package content are available separately, and you can add tons and tons of this if you want to add on. It's not necessarily needed, but if you want to continue adding on, you can add tons and tons of these things to it. So one of the reasons why I think it's a good buy is that even though it's 4 years old, you can bring it up to 2021 technology if you want. If you don't, it still gives you enough to be able to fit in and be abreast with today's vehicles. Now let me just quickly move on to the interior, which we've seen, but I'll just go ahead and then itemize why I think the interior is also good enough, even though you have missing Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and then you have much of a smaller cargo space relative to the competition. The NX's cabin isn't as radically designed as the exterior of the vehicle. Of course, when you look at the vehicle from exterior and the way it's shaped, the design language and how it's designed, you might think that the interior will look same, but it is rather the opposite. However, it still does good. It still exudes a cool modern vibe that won't be mistaken for anything else in the segment. The construction, the paneling, how it's put together is absolutely top-notch, with materials that feel and look rich. Okay, so if you look at the soft leather like material that lines the doors, so you take a good look. Okay, yes, the dash, the center console feels expensive, and one of the things that we so much appreciate is the padded areas that cushion the center console to keep your legs from whacking against a hard surface. Okay, it's one of the things we appreciate the most. Details such as contrast stitching, wood trim and a modern analog clock are tastefully applied. The high mounted climate controls are easy to reach and see, and other secondary controls are intuitive. The infotainment controls are less so. However, the standard display audio system utilizes a knob. Yes, that is what we are looking at. Central screen system similar to that of BMW's iDrive. I'm sure those of the BMW fans out there would say this. We haven't had a chance to try the display audio, but most of these NX models are likely to leave the dealership lot with navigation. Okay, now there is something interesting, which is the remote touch. Various menus and icons are selected with a console mounted touchpad like laptop, so it has a laptop feel. There's a haptic feedback vibration through the pad when you click something. Okay, but generally we find that using the remote touch draws too much of your attention from the road too, and like we mentioned, we don't have Android Auto and Android CarPlay, but a lot will make up for that. Right, the NX is actually great for carrying people, but less so for carrying stuff. Rear passengers should find room despite the vehicle's modest overall dimensions. Okay, so when you go to the cargo, the back area, the rear seat, you have a lot of room for the tallest of us all. Good headroom and good foot and knee room. Okay, and that is great for a vehicle of that size, which makes me think that, look, if you compare it to the competition, you still have good room there. However, if you have good rear space, it goes on to affect the cargo space, which we'll talk about later. But rear passengers, you find generous room despite the modest overall dimensions, but the cargo space is tight. The NX's 54.6 cubic feet of total volume brings it up the rear in this segment, and the rigged lift gate seems to make it less versatile than even when it's modest volume number. With the seats up, the cargo space shrinks to 17.7 cubic feet, which makes it less spacious than even some of the subcompact crossovers. But that is if you are going to be overhauling a lot. But if you are not, I don't think that should be a problem at all. Okay, so that's the second reason, I think. And then, I think a lot of us are wondering about the powertrain, which is the third reason why I think this vehicle is up to date and is one of the best choices to consider if you're looking for a 4-year-old pre-owned Lexus vehicle to buy, and even among the competition. Now, the NX is available in 3 different powertrains, which are designated by the model numberings. So the NX200t stroke the 300 is what we have behind us that we are discussing. We also have the NX300H, and then we have the NX200. Now the NX300 is powered by a 2.0L 8AR FTS turbocharged 4-cylinder direct injection that can run on both Auto and Atkinson cycles. That is what I want you to take note of, the Auto and then the Atkinson cycles. Now, this particular engine has the Lexus EST D4ST, okay, into expansion economy with superior thermal efficient combustion direct injection 4-stroke with turbo fuel injection. So the E-Stack system is simple, and this is how it works. With separate twin injectors for both direct and port injection, the E-Stack D4ST could perform high pressure direct injection into the cylinder, and a conventional intake port injection or direct cylinder injection only according to engine speed. All that I'm saying is that with a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder direct injection turbocharged engine that sits in this car that can run on both Auto and Atkinson's cycles, is simple that your vehicle can do the normal engine combustion, cycles, which is focused on power, but at a point it can also do the Atkinson cycle, which is the E-Stack, and give you a focus on fuel consumption and conservation than giving you power. So it gives you a very strong MPG when it comes to this particular engine, and not many offerings in this category give you that particular kind of technology and then engine approach. Okay, so I still think it's, if you are highly concerned about power and also concerned about fuel conservation, you can have it in this one and eat your cake. So the 2017 Lexus NX is powered by that 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, which is mated into a 6-speed automatic transmission and a front-wheel drive as standard. I think what we have is a front-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive is also an option. In Edmond's performance testing, a front-wheel drive NX200t went from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, which is about average for a small crossover with a base engine. Now, the EPA estimated fuel economy is 25 mpg combined, which is 22 city, 28 highway, and for an NX200t with front-wheel drive, you know what we got? The all-wheel drive lowers the combined figure to 24 just by 1 mpg. And on the Edmonds mixed driving evaluation route, a front-wheel drive NX200t returned 25.7 mpg, which is fairly typical results relative to EPA combined figures. Okay, so this is the kind of engine, the kind of output and mpg you get, which I think is one of the best still from 2017, and so it makes it a good one to consider if you are in the market for this. Now, let me just quickly brush on the two other engine options. For the NX300, it's powered by a 2.5 liter engine, which is mated to an electric motor and a CVT that puts out a combined 194 horsepower. The third option, which is the NX200, comes with a 2.03 ZR FA naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 150 horsepower, which is European based, specifically found in the Russian markets. Right, so that is it, and the icing on the cake now has to do with the driving experience. You want to know about that? Yes, I want to tell you about that, because that is the icing on the cake for me, and I'm just going to make it very simple. Much like the latest RX, the NX200t represents a renewed focus on driving enjoyment from Lexus, particularly on the export version. But the NX's body motions are nicely controlled when you are driving around turns and over bumps and dips. Still, the Lexus is largely about getting you through the daily grind. The NX200t suspension smooths over road imperfections with ease. Where rivals feel busy and nervous, the Lexus seems to glide unaffected. Okay, the 200
The 200T's engine is notably hashed, especially when compared to the turbocharged 4 cylinders of some competitors. It's also very smooth and respectably powerful. Current luxury SUV owners used to V6 engines might not even notice that there are 2 fewer cylinders under the hood, and this particular one that we have is a one-person pre-owned vehicle, comes up at $21,000. And in the competition, the NX200t comes up against the Audi Q5, the BMW X3, the Lincoln MKC, the Mercedes-Benz GLC, and then the Volvo XC60. Okay, so these are the cars that come up in the competition. They are luxury sort of crossovers, and that is how it comes up. So this is what it is, and I mean, conclusively, you can actually tell that you can actually shortlist it and consider it for purchasing, because of the very reasons I've stated, about 4 to 5 of them. We think is good, and you would benefit. This is where AutoStop brings this to an end. Have a great day, and thank you.